picture, curtain lights. This is it, the night of nights. No more rehearsing and nursing a part. We know every part by heart. Overture, curtain lights. This is it, we'll hit the heights. And oh, what heights we'll hit. On with the show, this is it.
Hey, we're back. I am Goose.
I am Logan.
This is On With the Show, and we hope you had a great holiday. I know we did, celebrating the new year. We're back a little bit late, not much, but just a few days. Again, trying to get the studio time has been interesting.
Yeah.
As of late, but there was one particular topic I wanted to talk about, and it's just been going on for a little bit. We had so much going on with Disney and Twitter and everything. I didn't have a chance to get talk about it, and that is when the news came out about Henry Cavill.
Oh, and Henry Cavill's out as Superman.
Out as Superman. And I got to ask this question because Henry Cavill's been in the Superman suit for
almost 10 years. I think. He debuted as Superman in Man of Steel, right?
Right. And I remember back, when I first saw Christopher Reeve in the Superman suit. Anybody else who got in the suit didn't look right.
Mm-hmm. Right. That's like how I feel with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's the first one I saw, so that's always been the gold standard for Spider-Man.
And truthfully, Tom Holland's done a fabulous job as Peter Parker slash Superman, Spider-Man. Sorry, Superman on the brain, but slash Spider-Man. But the question is, for Gen Z who has seen Henry Cavill in the Superman suit,
pretty much. As long as they've been watching DC films.
Yeah. Can you picture anybody else in the Superman suit?
I'm trying to think. What other big actors are there right now that would make a convincing Superman?
Because I can't think of anybody right now.
Yeah. And all the other ones that I could think of are already playing other superheroes.
Yeah, that's the crazy part of it is you really can't think of anybody right now who could play Superman other than Henry Cavill. And from all of the things I've been finding out about,
I just remembered.
You just remembered something.
Not somebody I want to
play
Superman, but somebody they're considering.
Yeah.
Take a wild guess. You're not even gonna.
Tom Cruise.
No.
That's a wild guess.
It's even further out of left field. It's so far left field, it's not even in the park for most people.
I have no idea. All the names that come in my head wouldn't make sense.
Juno McGuff. Elliot Page is apparently being considered to play Superman. Exactly. No hate, but when I look at Elliot Page, I don't see Superman.
Yeah.
Maybe if they did something like, what was it, Young Justice?
Yeah, I could
maybe
see that.
if they did that, but not if you're
I could see her.
Clark Kent himself. I don't buy that.
I could see, and I got to make sure I don't misgender, I could see him playing, maybe Robin or Megan McGann or something like that for Young Justice. I can't see Elliot Page playing Superman.
No, I don't see that either. That's why when I saw that, I didn't believe it. I thought it was like, was this a joke? But apparently not. Apparently Elliot Page is actually in considerations to be Superman.
That ought to be interesting.
But another superhero Elliot Page was being considered to play was the Flash. After all the Ezra Miller debacle, that's a better pick. That's a better fit, not Superman.
Interestingly enough, and this was something I had heard, it's rumored, to kind of take a little bit of, going down a rabbit hole just a little bit, because we're going to get back to Henry Cavill. But the rumor out is that DC and Warner Brothers are not giving The Flash a theater release. They're going to throw it directly onto HBO Max.
Well, I guess I could see why after all the Ezra Miller thing, I don't think it would survive in theaters. But then again, that makes me wonder if it's going to be any more successful on HBO Max than it would be in theaters.
It would be a logical move because putting it on the streaming service it gives them basically no risk. They can put it on the
then why don't they
service.
do that with Batgirl? Because that was completely canned.
Because Batgirl was atrocious. Have you seen the clips for Batgirl?
Hey, they put She-Hulk on Disney Plus.
Oh, yeah.
There's no standards for streaming service quality. So
different streaming service, but trust me, yeah, I agree with you as far as She-Hulk, but I think they were trying to make this absolute leap with She-Hulk that they couldn't make with Batgirl. Okay, I mean, I've seen some of the footage for Batgirl. It looked atrocious. I mean, even with Brendan Fraser and Michael Keaton on the project, they couldn't save that sinking Titanic ship.
Who was Brendan Fraser playing again?
Firefly.
Firefly. Okay.
They play Firefly. And I mean, they couldn't save that ship. There was no way. I mean, I even heard some of the writing. The writing was atrocious. The writing was bad. The writing was. I mean, can I just continue? God awful. It was just. Batgirl was not going to. Batgirl. Even from what I hear, when they did test screenings of Batgirl, everybody came out and said, "Seems more like a WB show." Honest to God, quote.
Wait, like they said that was like.
It would be better to go on the CW. Yeah. Yeah.
That's not a good sign when you're trying to be theatrically released and everybody says it's better fit for basic cable.
Yeah. But going back to the Henry Cavill thing, apparently I guess they had planned on not having Henry Cavill as, and this is from Looper. Okay, I got this from Looper that Henry Cavill was out as Superman as far back as 2018.
Really?
That they were going to let him complete his contractual obligations to the role, and that they were going to find somebody else or kill off Superman, whichever one I don't think they had decided. And when James Gunn and I think Peter Safran came on the project for WB, they were like, we're going to do a soft reboot, and so. They had planned all along, I think, to, graciously let Henry Cavill go as Superman.
So, what exactly do they mean by soft reboot? Like, they're going to recast all the current actors? Like, they're going to recast
I don't know.
Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa?
That's the question.
Or are they just going to boot Henry Cavill, keep all the other Justice League actors? But then that wouldn't make sense as it's a soft reboot.
I mean, let's kind of like backtrack this a little bit, and this segment's going to go a little long because there's a lot to unpack, and basically, because if you've not seen Black Adam's a really good movie. I really enjoyed it. Some of the CGI is a little wonky, but once the film gets going, it's really good. It's a really good story. And I guess apparently Dwayne Johnson has been, working on doing a Black Adam film for quite some time. It's been his pet project. And and again, this is also from Looper, Johnson kind of ingratiated himself into the boardroom and into all the different stuff to get Black Adam, because he wanted a Black Adam franchise that would eventually end with Black Adam versus Superman. And if you remember at the end of Black Adam in those post credits, you had a little confrontation between Henry Cavill's Superman and Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam, and I'm sitting there going, "Oh my God, this is gonna be great! This is what we wanted. We want this. This is gonna be good." And
only for it to turn out that not only has Henry Cavill gotten the boot, but so has the possibility of a Black Adam franchise.
Yeah, apparently, what happened is that Dwayne Johnson ingratiated himself so much that he made himself a pain in the ass.
Oh, so he was he was a kiss ass?
No, he wasn't a kiss ass. He basically wanted things done, I think, his way, which again is Dwayne's.
Well, yeah, it's when you're someone of Dwayne Johnson's, I say, stature in Hollywood, then you get to make those decisions, but everybody knows who Dwayne Johnson is.
But apparently, it's like he there were certain demands that he wanted, and a lot of the time, and again, a lot of this stuff was kind of like you have a lot of the behind the scenes things going on. With a change in management, I guess you could call it a change in management, over at Warner Brothers in DC, and so I guess he pretty much almost demanded that they bring Henry Cavill back because they wanted to, he wanted to have that little thing, and they were like, okay, yeah, sure, and the kicker was that if you've not seen this other movie Dwayne Johnson did, it's called DC's League of Super Pets.
Oh, that's the animated.
It's the animated film where he voices Crypto
Superdog.
Superdog, and apparently Dwayne Johnson wasn't interested. He demanded producer credits. Again, someone with the stature of Dwayne Johnson can ask for that, but he didn't apparently go out of his way to help promote the movie.
But isn't that what producers do?
Yeah, producers basically go, and I guess he was so I want to say that he was so wrapped up with Black Adam that he didn't really give a crap about. He just wanted, because when you get producer credits, you get points, and the more points you get, the more money you make. When it goes to streaming and syndication and all that other fun stuff.
So the more things you're credited as, the more royalties you get?
More royalties you get.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's why you see a lot of people will if they're like Tom, I'll say just for this example, Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is a kind of person that will, not only will he get star credits, but he'll also try to get producer credits also. Tom Cruise is the same way. And a lot of them will sometimes even invest their own money just to become executive producers so that they can recoup money back in the other end.
Yeah, I know another actor that did that was Bryan Cranston. For Breaking Bad.
Yep.
Because every time it's rolls credit producer, Bryan Cranston.
Yep. And that usually happens in television shows. After a couple of seasons, the star of the show will get producer credits, and it means they get more points, they get more royalties on, But getting back to Warner Brothers and Black Adam. It also apparently didn't perform well at the box office, which I have a hard time believing. They said it made $391 million worldwide, which for a superhero film, I would think that you would make a little more.
Yeah, because every time a superhero comes out, it's like such and such movie breaks record, passing $1 billion in the worldwide box office. So yeah, I guess as far as the realm of superhero movies go, yeah, $391 million is a bit of a disappointment.
Bit of a disappointment.
I guess in the grand scheme of things, that's not too bad.
What
was its budget? Do you know?
Like $195 million.
Okay, well at least it made back its money.
Which I think ballooned another $40 million when they did reshoots, which does happen when sometimes you have to put something in the budget for reshoots because you're going to need to go back and film more stuff. It just happens. There are two questions that I'm going to put on the table. The first question is, and it's the one that you brought up. It's a soft reboot. Okay. And they were already interviewing Zach Levy. Zach Levy, who has Shazam 2 coming out. I think when is it?
I think it's coming out later this year.
I want to say maybe in just a couple of months. I want to think that it's coming out maybe in March or something.
I think so.
I'd have to look it up.
I can't remember exactly what it said in the trailer.
But he was being interviewed, and they were asking about Shazam, and he's like, I don't know if I'm coming back as Shazam because of all that's going on at Warner Brothers. And it's like, well, wait a minute. And I have said that, I've said this in conversation. You already have Gal Gadot, and you said Jason Momoa, Zach Levy, they're all pretty much established as DC superheroes. They've made money for in the box office. Aquaman 2 is coming out later this year, which everybody's excited about. Mostly, I think for me personally, to see how much airtime they're going to give Amber Heard after all that whole debacle. But do you continue to have them play their roles? Do you continue to have Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa and Zach Levy continue to play on while you recast Superman and possibly I mean, one of the things they had talked about was having Shazam versus Black Adam. That was one of the movies that they had thought about as like a Shazam movie later on down the line. I mean, do you bring Dwayne Johnson back as Black Adam for that movie?
I mean, I would think so, just for the sake of, I don't know, consistency.
You would think. I mean,
or it's like in every movie, or at least in the same, like, I don't know, few years.
Yeah.
It would make sense to have the same actor play the same character. Because then it'd be like, well, why isn't Dwayne Johnson playing Black Adam? Who was this? Whoever they cast.
It would be interesting to see who they cast. Basically, I mean, what the rumors are going on is that Gunn and Safran want to do the basic Marvel formula where each film carries on into the next film, which I get. That actually sounds like a pretty good idea, because that's how you build a franchise, and then that's how you get like what they did with all the Iron Man and Thor and Captain America and all those. Then you get the Avengers. Okay, so it all kind of works into the details of that. With that being said, do they use, and let me throw this out at you before we go to break, do they use Robert Pattinson as Batman? Since they had the Batman, it was so popular and so well done and received.
Want them to, but I don't know if that's tied into the DC, like the DC extended universe, or if that was its own like standalone series. But I would love them to bring in Robert Pattinson, because I personally preferred Robert Pattinson over Ben Affleck. No shade to Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck, he did a great job. Yeah,
I just liked the Batman more than any of the other Ben Affleck Batman movies. So
yeah,
I would want them to, but I think for the DC extended universe, they're going to stick with Ben Affleck. But if they're going to recast everybody for this reboot, then yeah, Robert Pattinson
should stay as Batman. He did such a great job. That movie was so good. If you've not seen it, it's on streaming on HBO Max, right?
So if you haven't seen it, check it out.
Check it out. It almost kind of gives you an idea. If this is what Gunn and Safran are looking for, oh my gosh, I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do from here on out. But it does kind of bring in, okay, how do we, and again, how do you bring in Pattinson into this universe that's already been established? I have said over and over again, you already have this rolling. You've already got it moving. You need to run with the team you got.
Exactly.
But it seems like Gunn and Safran want to go in a direction that's different than what's been established. I don't know. Maybe they're going for, I mean, because remember, how many Spider-Man movies do we get within a 10-year period? With Maguire and Garfield and Holland? I think they kept trying to reboot that puppy.
Yeah, because they had the 3 with Tobey Maguire, 2 with Andrew Garfield, and they had the Spider-Man No Way Home trilogy, which then tied into the wider MCU. So I guess it's not unheard of for characters to be recast within a short time span, but I still like them to
try to keep some consistency.
Exactly.
Overture, cut the lights. This is it, the night of nights. No more rehearsing and nursing a part. We know every card by heart. Overture, curtain lights. This is it, we'll hit the heights. And oh, what heights we'll hit. On with the show, this is it.